I'm at section 485283 on State Highway 121 in Tarrant County. I wanted to just go ahead and I'm looking back right now at the automated vehicle classification station. You can see the sign, the back of the sign that indicates the beginning of the maintenance control zone for this section. That brings us up to the test section itself. All the markings here are in really good shape. See the markings way out on the fence line. This is a section of continuously reinforced concrete pavement, ID number 485283. This section, other than the transverse cracking, there was no real distress to take note of. I'll call it distresses. Obviously the transverse cracks are not really a distress per se, but part of the design. But they are included on the distress survey forms. It was very evident in conducting the distress survey at this location that sunlight has an important role in how you perceive these cracks. I counted them coming and going on each station, and in this particular instance found considerably more when going against the grain of traffic. I'm sorry, found considerably more when going with the grain of traffic, considerably less when going against the grain of traffic. You can see some of these are fairly fine cracks. A few of them have a little bit of spalling, but not much. Here's one that just about gets lost in the texturing. You can just barely see it there. No real other distress to make note of out here. I did measure the lane to shoulder drop off and the lane joint separation. There's no real separation of the lane joint, however its width is approximately 3/10 of an inch, and that's what I recorded. The lane shoulder drop off is actually a negative value. The shoulder is higher than the main lanes by approximately 1 to 2/10 of an inch. You can see there's a fairly phenomenal amount of traffic out here. This is right en route to the Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. Again, you can see the delineators are all in order. All the markings were really well taken care of. I did have thermoplastic tape out here, which has helped maintain these markings fairly well. We're about 3/4 of a mile south of Glade Road. We're in the northbound lanes here on State Highway 121. I'll go ahead and walk back through the section one more time just to give you a slightly different perspective. Ordinarily, one might expect that the cracks would be a little bit more visible walking against the grain of traffic. However, that was not the case here. You would expect it to be greater going against the grain of traffic due to faulting and so forth. We really didn't see any here. There's places where it almost appears like there's longitudinal cracking. However, I couldn't locate an actual crack. I'm not sure exactly what that is. It appears to have almost spalled in the longitudinal direction in places. However, there's no cracking within those falls. I wouldn't really expect this section to have had longitudinal cracking. It's not that old. I believe it was only a couple years old when we initiated the SHARP program in '88. I would only make it at this point about 5 years old. There's typically neighborhood of 15 to 20 cracks per 100 feet. That would work out to a crack spacing of approximately 5 to 6 feet, which is really a pretty good pattern. There are, on occasion, a few that occur within a foot of each other or two. Those probably will be the areas that will experience the first distress on this test section. But you can see, for the most part, this section is in real good shape, as one might expect. Again, we're on State Highway 121 in Tarrant County. We're in the northbound lanes. And that concludes the video for section 48, 52, 80.